Hey, 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 everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We are so excited to have all of us together. Like I say, the gang's all here. I feel like it's like the Peanuts
Oh,
gang. We are all here. We are representing ourselves. We are representing the Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine, or now known as Cenarian University of Health Sciences. And so we are coming as the self-proclaimed alumni, the Minority Alumni Coalition. And so we are, I just made that up.
I was
We are
saying, is
happy
I
it
like it.
you?
to talk to you all about heart health, the colors of the heart. And so we are going to be talking about how we can utilize foods in order to help our nutrition. And we just ask that you all just bear with us just a moment as we share this live to our various platforms. I see that we do have some people watching. So while we are sharing to our platforms, I do ask that you all just go ahead in the comment section. Just let us know where you are tuning in from. We would love to have you just share with us how you are tuning in. And even if you know the panelists, let us know how you know us. We would love for you to just reach out. And even as we get ready to start, while we're sharing on our platforms, we want you to know that this is an interactive workshop, okay? We are here to disseminate a lot of information to you all, but we want you all to know that we are here for you, okay? And so in the comment section here, we would love for you to just reach out and ask us any questions that you may have concerning cardiovascular health, any questions that you may have concerning chronic disease states, and any questions that you may have concerning nutrition and how you can utilize nutrition on your wellness journey. And so, like I said, we are super excited to have you all join us. And we are getting ready to just go ahead and start in just a few moments. We do thank you for bearing with us. I'm trying to, this is what happens when you have two screens.
Work it.
I'm trying to share on my other screen, or my trying to share with my various platforms. But as I do that, I'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. We all are going to introduce ourselves. Hopefully, everybody's been able to share on their platforms as well.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm nervous
Yep.
about.
Good to go.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
I think,
Nah, you good. I
I think
just
I
shared
saw
it on
Lori.
mine, so
Okay, good. And I see. Let me see if I can share it. Okay, awesome. I think it's going to let me share as myself. Just bear with us. But while I'm sharing, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I am Kelly Renee Vaniger, and I am the Chief Culinary Wellness Educator for my wellness brand, Prep by Kelly Renee's, where I prepare you for wellness. And I do that by utilizing the avenues of online courses, master classes, online group coaching, by doing a nutrition room in the app called Clubhouse in the Faith and Fitness House. If you have that app, come join me on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Also, if you are in the Charlotte Metro, North Carolina area, I am offering meal preparation services where I offer superior taste and superior nutrition in the form of nutrient dense meals for my clients. And so I am a firm believer that eating well does not have to be nasty. So what I do is I utilize my love of cooking and my love of all things flavorful, my love and my knowledge of how to use anti-inflammatory foods to help you mitigate disease states in your body or prevent you from even going into a chronic disease state, and hopefully utilizing those foods to heal your body as well. So I would love for you to reach out to me if you are in that area. So I also have a master's in clinical nutrition, as we all do here. So we have so many years of experience, so many years of schooling, and a wealth of knowledge. And I'm super excited for my colleagues to go ahead and introduce themselves. So we'll start with Henry. I think he's
All
next.
right. Awesome. I'm Henry Lewis III. I am the founder and owner of Lewis Wellness Solutions, where I help people get to the root of their health concerns, and I use diet and lifestyle interventions to help you promote health. I meet with clients one-on-one. I do group presentations, tons of social media, educational social media. So I'm really here to help people feel their best and really get down to the root of what's causing them to feel so bad. And, really figure out ways, whether you're using medication or not, figure out ways that we can use your diet and your lifestyle to make you really live your best life. So, please reach out to me. My social media handle for Instagram, which is where I usually post a lot of my information, is _Lewis Well SOL. So hit me up.
I am Beth Coach B. Fagans. I'm also a clinical nutritionist. I'm the owner of MyFit365, a health and wellness company that educates you on cardiovascular health. And I'm also a strength and conditioning specialist with the National Strength and Conditioning Association. And my specialty is, training, actually. But I specialize in corrective exercise, basically. That's what I do. I specialize in corrective exercise for athletes, for special populations, stroke, heart attack, cancer, quadriplegics, MS. And my coaching platform is called Six Figure Health Coaching Platform, where I coach you to the biomarkers that tell me if you're healthy or not. There are 6 figures that I like. So you can hit me up at Coach B Said It. It's my handle. And that's all.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is Philip Banks. I am a clinical nutrition specialist for the city of San Antonio. About 5-6 months now. It's been going well, but 21-year Navy veteran. I graduated with these fine folks back in June. Missed them. I was happy we were able to do this again. So my job here as a clinical or nutrition specialist with the seniors, I work with seniors that's 60 and older, and I'm basically responsible for their meal program, all things nutrition education with them, activities, things like that. Basically, like Henry said, helping them feel their best and live their best lives. I get questions every day. I do coaching every day. So, dealing with the seniors is a totally different ball game. There's a lot going on that, they want to fix still. So, and I'm here for it. So, yeah, that's my intro. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Thank you, Kelly, for hosting. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, my name is Michaela Davis, and I'm actually located out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I recently launched my business, nutrition and fitness business. It's called Soul of Nutrition and Fitness. I really focus in on like weight loss and healthy weight loss. So I work with a lot of clients one-on-one, and I'll give talks like this if need be. And I just really want to help educate on normal eating, normal habits, behavioral eating, really getting to the root of how we can, kind of change the mindset around just normal eating habits and health. So that's what I really teach, and movement. I believe that's really important going for further in your life. So I, graduated, have my master's. I'm also pursuing my CNS credential right now. I just recently passed the board exam. So now I'm just like a few hours shy of getting my credential. So right. I'm looking forward to that. And then I could really go full steam.
Hey,
Congratulations.
There you go, Michaela.
Thank you.
That's inspiring.
Yes. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. You can really find me at Solar Nutrition, it's soulinf.com, and all my stuff, social media and stuff, you can find me there.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, everyone, for introducing yourselves. As you can see, we come from a broad spectrum of not just geographically, but even our backgrounds, what we have pursued in the past, our past jobs, our past educational experience, and even life experiences. And we use all of this to talk to our clients and the people that we encounter. If you know me, then I talk about health and nutrition to strangers, to anyone who will listen. And so I love sharing with you all. And one of the things I love to share is I love to share facts. So we are here because of Black History Month, and we really want to emphasize the fact that chronic disease states and cardiovascular disease are one of the things that affect the African American community. And I'm just going to read off a couple of statistics for you all before I turn the mic over to Beth to just give us a brief breakdown of what exactly we're going to be talking about this evening. But in 2009, African Americans were 24% less likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic white people. Well, whites, I'm sorry. And also, I'm sorry. Yeah. And the thing is, one of the things that always bothers me a little bit is that African Americans are more likely to have high blood pressure than non-Hispanic whites or any other race. And a lot of times the high blood pressure, that once we discover the hypertension, it's already like a diagnosis versus being pre-hypertensive. And African American women, listen to this, y'all, are 60% more likely to have high blood pressure compared to non-Hispanic white women. And so those statistics, while they may sound a little bit scary, we are here to let you know that there are things that you can do to prevent this from being your fate. Just because you may have a diagnosis, just because you went to the doctor and the doctor may have said that you are at risk for developing hypertension, coronary disease, that does not have to be the end all be all. And we are here to let you know what you can do, how you can eat to live versus living to eat. And so in our foods, we're talking about the colors of health. So we're going to be talking about a broad spectrum of different colors and the compounds that are found in these colorful foods that we have, that God has created for us. And these foods have compounds, and Beth is going to just break down the compounds that are found in these foods.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. As Kelly mentioned, heart health is something that we are all passionate about, because we are African American individuals, and our race succumbs to heart health every single year in disproportionate numbers. So fruits and vegetables, the color of the heart, you have the fruits and vegetables that are many different colors, many different spectrums of the prism. And the benefits of fruits and vegetables are antioxidants. Antioxidants are the benefits of eating fruits and vegetables. And you asked me, what are antioxidants? Antioxidants they protect against, cellular degeneration. The free radicals protect against, cell damage, if you will. Okay. And the reason why fruits and vegetables are so important in heart health is because fruits and vegetables are already in their simplest form. They're already pre-digested. They're already in their simplest form. So there's minimal breakdown. So there's minimal cellular damage. Girl Scout cookie season is here. And so, you don't want free radicals. So you might as well not eat any. Okay. So
10 boxes.
Okay. With that said, fruits and vegetables are the master antioxidants, and my color is red. Hence the headband, the red headband. Y'all like that? Heart health. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do,
like the Emerald City on the quiz.
We're going to go over red apples, not green. Red grapes, not green. Red peppers, and what's it? Not green, right? Okay. So, the red apples. A lot of us hear, apples are good for our cholesterol. That's the blanket statement. But why though? There's pectin, y'all. There's pectin in a red apple, and it lowers the bad cholesterol. There's pectin in, and it lowers the bad cholesterol. It lowers the bad. So when you're eating an apple, just think of yourself as, oh, wait a minute, I'm lowering my cholesterol, because pectin is a soluble fiber. And what's a soluble fiber? Soluble fiber dissolves in water. It's the gel, and it helps with your cholesterol, right? So pectin, so take away red apples, pectin lowers cholesterol. Okay. And so when you lower cholesterol, you reduce the pressure in your blood vessels, and it keeps down inflammation. Heart disease is a disease of inflammation. So red apples, pectin, cholesterol lowering, and inflammation reduction. Okay. Next thing we have are red grapes. You guys like red grapes?
Mhm.
Can y'all find red grapes with seeds? I need red grapes with seeds.
No.
Maybe a while ago. I don't know recently. I haven't seen them, right? Yeah.
I don't
A lot of fruits are
understand.
like that right now. Where are the
Because
seeds?
I need some red grapes because they decrease your blood clotting tendencies for your blood to clot. They decrease that, and they open up your arteries in your cells. They open up your arteries for positive blood flow to and from the heart. And they have phytochemicals that let me explain this. Phytochemicals. So what phytochemicals do in a layman's term for your heart, what they do is they actually kind of, I don't want to say clean the blood, but the phytochemicals actually help the antioxidants. And if you remember before, I said the antioxidants, they help with the free radical damage of the cell. Okay. So it suppresses platelet aggregation. That's just a big word. Like I said, it suppresses blood clotting. Right. And so in that, it reduces your chances of having cardiovascular disease because now you have positive blood flow, and it can reduce your blood pressure as well. Okay. The next, how many of you guys like tomatoes? You like tomatoes?
Ooh, me.
You like tomatoes, right? Because tomatoes
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan of tomatoes?
Hey, I don't want to see you put ketchup on nothing, Henry.
Well, you know what? What I should say is I'm not a fan of tomatoes in its natural form.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
And that,
Fair enough.
as a nutrition professional, that's all I'm going to say.
Well,
All
I
right.
tell you what. Those of us that like tomatoes, I was telling Kelly, was it that today? Went through South Carolina, and they just had like tomato stands everywhere, and I just have never had a South Carolina tomato before, and I just said, well, I'm gonna just stop. I ate it like an apple. It was so amazing. So you guys, tomatoes are also lipid lowering, cholesterol lowering foods, and they're the second most produced and consumed fruit in America. Henry, you left out, sorry. Tomatoes also have
I'm good. I'm good without the tomatoes.
Potassium and magnesium, and these two components. Potassium is good because your heart is a muscle, and we need potassium. We need potassium, and we need magnesium. Magnesium actually relaxes the blood vessels. And one more other one, beets. I'm with you. I don't eat beets.
I'll take those. No,
I don't eat
beets.
I will tell you right now, Beth, I don't mean to cut you off, but there's a senior here at the senior center, and this man swears by beets every day. I'm not gonna tell you what reason he gives, but that's between me and him.
If he's at the senior center, he swears by beets. This is why, because beets dilate the blood vessels. Right?
Yep.
You know what?
Enough said right there.
But you know what? Y'all should talk about that real quick, especially because I'm sure we'll have some men that are watching or men.
All right.
Play. So, like, I love getting down and dirty. And so I would say that, like, I refuse to allow, some vascular dilation, or what do you call it? Constriction.
Yes.
Yeah,
we want the dilation. We don't want the constriction.
Right, exactly.
Right.
We don't want the constriction. That's not the life I'm trying to live.
No. We don't want that.
Okay. So can y'all just go briefly into what it is that we're talking about in layman's terms?
Go ahead, Beth. You got it?
Well, okay, yeah. So beets have this component called nitric oxide.
Yes.
Right. And nitric oxide dilates the blood vessels, so everything can flow to the proper organs and muscles, right? And everything has a positive blood flow.
Right, that spongy tissue. We thank God.
Specifically, right, Kelly?
Specifically.
And beets actually increase athletic performance. I don't know if you guys know this. Arginine. Arginine. Some bodybuilders use arginine in their pre-workout.
Mhm.
Arginine does the same thing as beets. It's nitric oxide. It's an amino acid. And so let me see. We got red apples, red grapes. We got tomatoes. We got beets. Okay, so that's it for red, you guys. I know they're okay. You know what? No, let me go over red peppers real quick. How many of you guys
Gotta go over those. Yeah.
I love red
I'll
pepper.
take a red
Okay,
pepper.
so red pepper. So how many of you guys knew that there was no such thing as a bona fide red pepper, right? They change colors as they ripen.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, they change colors as they ripen. But if you happen to get a red pepper, here it is. They have they provide A, E, and C. A, E, and C. And these are anti-inflammatory vitamins. And why are anti-inflammatory vitamins good for the heart? It's because it relaxes the blood vessels again for positive blood flow in and out. Just trying to make this information very easy for you guys to understand, because we can get sciencey because we went to school for it, but we want it to be more palatable. We want it to be easy and concise because we want you to walk down the outside of the aisle and pick up fruits and vegetables. We want you to remember, oh, wait a minute, I want positive blood flow. Let me go for some grapes. We want you to remember that. We don't want you to remember the whole scientific aspect of it that we went to school for. So we just put it in layman's terms for you guys. Okay. So, the carotenoids. The carotenoids, because of vitamin A, red peppers have a lot of vitamin A, you guys. And also the master antioxidant. When I opened, we talked about fruits and vegetables having antioxidants. The master antioxidant vitamin is vitamin E. Vitamin E is the master antioxidant in vitamin form. So, guys, remember, red apples, pectin lowers blood pressure. Red grapes dilates your blood vessels and improves the blood flow of the heart, as does beets. Beets do the same thing, nitric oxide component, positive blood flow. Sometimes people use beet juice to increase their cardiovascular performance. There's that word again, cardiovascular performance. And we got the red peppers with the master antioxidant in it with the vitamin E, but of course the carotenoid, the vitamin A, and the vitamin antioxidant, vitamin C. That is the color red. I am Coach B. And Kelly, what do you got to say about vitamin E? What's going on with you?
With vitamin E?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't have nothing to say about vitamin E. I mean,
no, I'm just saying, what are some foods that you like to have vitamin E in them?
Pumpkin.
So vitamin E rich foods.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Henry, what'd you say? Pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
I like blueberries. I got some blueberries
color.
today. Matter of fact, I got some blueberries today at Whole Foods.
Love me some blueberries.
Olives. But I'm going to touch on it too a little bit later.
Yeah, because one of the things that a lot of these, not that we're emphasizing or pushing a plant-based diet by any means, but one thing I want you all who are watching to realize is that a lot of these antioxidant compounds are found in fruits and vegetables. That's all I have to say about that. So increase your fruit and vegetable intake. So Coach B, thank you for telling us about the red foods. And Henry, since we are going down the rainbow, let's talk about orange foods.
Orange foods, my favorite. So I'm actually going to start with my absolute favorite, which is sweet potato. Okay. I probably have a sweet potato maybe once a week. Sweet potatoes are rich, and we talked a lot about vitamin A. That's actually what gives it its orange color, that beta carotene in the plant form of vitamin A. So very rich in vitamin A. Vitamin A is a natural antioxidant, as Beth and Kelly were saying. So very good at protecting the cells, especially the heart cells. A lot of people don't know this, but sweet potatoes are actually very high in potassium. I think when we think potassium, we think bananas and greens and things like that. But sweet potatoes, I'm trying to remember the number off the top of my head per potato, but very, very high in potassium. And potassium is very important to me because I am someone who has dealt with blood pressure issues. So I'm always making sure that I throw potassium-rich foods in every meal of the day. And in particular, when it comes to a lot of discussion in the media as it relates to people suffering from cardiac arrest, the heartbeat, the heart not beating anymore. Potassium is a huge factor in having a healthy heartbeat. When I think about all these people going into cardiac arrest, I think of things like, what's their potassium like? What's their magnesium level like? What's their sodium level like? And with all three of those, what's the balance with those three and water? Okay. If you don't have a healthy balance of potassium, sodium, magnesium, and water, your heart's not going to beat the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So we have to throw in potassium-rich foods at every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. So sweet potatoes is one of those. Sweet potatoes are also high in fiber. So as Beth was saying earlier, helps with healthy cholesterols and blood vessels, keep you regular.
Yes.
So also we have pumpkins. Now, I don't do a whole lot of whole pumpkins. I actually eat a lot of pumpkin seeds because of their richness in magnesium. One of the most, that's probably one of the best food sources of magnesium because, as we all know, magnesium has been depleted from a lot of our crops due to farming practices in the U.S. So pumpkin seeds are probably one of the foods that you can still really get a lot of magnesium in. And as I just mentioned, magnesium is very important for that healthy heartbeat. Another one that I really enjoy, and actually I just had a smoothie. I don't know how appetizing it actually looks, but it actually tastes great. But I just had a smoothie.
I was about to ask you what was in that.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. But let's see. There's some mangoes in here. So back to the orange, I put some mangoes in here.
Mangoes.
Mangoes are high in potassium, vitamin C, vitamin A. One thing I want to say about vitamin C, some people don't know this, but vitamin C is actually very important in keeping those blood vessels structured and helping to reduce that plaque buildup, that we get from the standard American diet. When people talk about lowering cholesterol or trying to prevent further buildup of plaque, because as we all know, there's currently no medical intervention to reverse plaque buildup in your arteries. Vitamin C has been studied to actually do that. So we got to put our vitamin C rich foods, and mangoes is one of them. So I have mangoes. I have spinach. I put a little bit of honey. Coconut water is the base. A little bit of pea protein. A couple of strawberries and a whole bunch of blueberries. And drink this, all week long to feel my best. So, let's see what else we have. Cantaloupe. You all like cantaloupe?
Yes, I love it.
I hated it. I hated it when I was a kid. Love it now, though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You say I'm okay with it.
And cantaloupe is one of those ones. Anytime you go out to a restaurant and get like a side of fruit, like a fruit cup or something, they always got cantaloupe in there. But cantaloupe is very nutritious: potassium, fiber, vitamin C, magnesium, and one that we haven't talked about yet, vitamin B6. One of our water-soluble vitamins. Yes. That's really, I would say, very important to heart health because vitamin B6 plays a role in the stimulating and calming aspects of the nervous system. Yeah. And as we know, if we're too stimulated, that's going to have a bad effect on our heart. So vitamin B6 is very important with that. Now, some of these foods are also high in sugar. So I do want to make note that, it is something to be mindful of because they're also high in fiber that can kind of help curb that sugar, that potential sugar spike. Now, this is also sugar from fruit, from natural food. So it's not going to have the same sugar spike that, fake ice cream and candy and, things like that will have. But that fiber will kind of help it, go up very slowly, as well as it's important to eat fruits, with the source of fat and protein. So in this smoothie, I forgot to mention, I also have some flaxseed in there, but I'll.
Don't steal. Hey,
Yeah,
don't steal my stuff. Don't steal my stuff, man.
That's all I have to say. I'm done. Pass the mic.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Henry, for talking about the orange foods. And I expected you to talk about oranges because orange is orange, but
that's the typical one. That's the
right.
One.
I know.
Yes, but oranges.
Yeah.
Oranges. When I was younger, I thought oranges were only good for vitamin C, but as we learned, they're actually really good in potassium as well. So, oranges are great.
Absolutely. This is so interesting. I'm hoping that a lot of people who are watching are getting so many takeaways. Even though we studied this is a good refresher for me, reminding me like how many of these fruits and vegetables am I seeing every day coming across my plate? Because sometimes I get locked in on a certain thing. Right now, my favorite vegetable is baby broccoli. So I've just been locked in on that. Like I can eat a whole bag of that in like 2 or 3 days. It's so good to me. And that's a bag from Sam's Club, okay? So
that's a big bag.
I know. So while we're on the subject of green, I'm going to toss the mic over to Coach K to give us to break it on down about green foods.
Green.
That's a big topic. I mean, when you think of greens, you're obviously thinking of plant foods from the earth. Like, of course, there's all these other colors, but there's so much in the green. But when you're talking greens, we're talking, polyphenols, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, B vitamins, vitamin E, fiber. So, our leafy green vegetables go a long way with a lot of that I just mentioned. So we're talking spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens, kale, cabbage. You can even throw in, these aren't leafy greens, but okra and broccoli, like Kelly just mentioned, really great. But I am gonna hone in on just a few to keep it brief here. So, avocados. How many of y'all like avocados?
I had one today.
Yeah. They grew on me because it was weird to me at first.
Right. Okay.
It was weird, but then I was like, okay, I can really. So now I make the best avocado toast. But anyway, avocados are really high in potassium, and we've touched on these things. So potassium being really good at regulating blood pressure and being protective against heart attack and stroke. There was a study that if you ate at least 2 servings of avocado a week, you'd have a 16% lower risk of cardiovascular disease and a 21% lower risk of experiencing heart attack or other related coronary artery issues. And that's also because of the healthy fat that it has in it. Avocado is amazing. It's a MUFA, or a monounsaturated fat, and it's also fiber. So it helps lower LDL cholesterol, helps regulate cholesterol. And as far as with weight loss, it's really good at keeping you full because it's a fat. It's heavy. So another good fatty food is olives. And since I'm doing green, I'm talking all olives here, but there are green olives, so I'm gonna just lump it in. But we always hear about olive oil and all the polyphenols that come with it. And once again, polyphenols are antioxidants, which means they're anti-inflammatory, which when it comes to cardiovascular system is so important, because when there's inflammation, our body is going to start, releasing calcium and trying to heal the inflammation, which can cause, atherosclerosis and hardening of the arteries and things. So we want to keep inflammation as low as we can. And things like olives and olive oil is great for that. It's also rich in vitamin E, which we discussed earlier. It also helps reduce things like cancer and diabetes, stroke and heart disease. So olives was another one, like avocados. It was not my thing until maybe a couple years ago. Specifically the Kalamata olives. I love those. So,
I love those too.
Yes.
you gotta try some different ones out because you know you might like one more over the other. Moving on, celery. Celery is really great. It has flavonoids in it, anti-inflammatory, super fibrous. Once again, lowering cholesterol, and and it also is really good with detoxing and keeping things flowing. So people talk about juicing celery. Like I like to have the fiber, so I don't necessarily want to juice, but get you some celery and maybe hummus or something you like to dip with it and hook it up. It's really good. Lastly, I want to touch on green tea because I love herbs and I think you got to add them to your foods as much as possible. But green tea, it has catechins in it, which is another polyphenol, antioxidant, huge. So lowers inflammation. I actually encourage people to drink it often, if not once a day, in the morning to, kind of get things going. It does have caffeine in it. So you want to have it earlier in the day, maybe, cut off by 2 so it doesn't ruin sleep. But really important. It helps decrease coronary artery disease. It helps with keeping blood pressure regulated, blood clotting, and helps protect against atherosclerosis. And another interesting thing is there was studies showing that it reduces weight and body mass. So body fat mass, not necessarily the lean, but the fat mass if you're looking to lose weight. So these were some of the green foods that I really wanted to pinpoint out, but there's so many more. And you definitely want to have that at every meal, if not, if not just several times throughout the day, just to get that fiber and all those antioxidants and vitamins. So, yes.
I think it's so cool. Thanks, Michaela.
Yeah, absolutely.
Breaking it all the way down for us. And so I love that you mentioned the avocados because when I tell you I love avocados, like they're my favorite. And I realized that I cannot eat them. Like, you know how you go to the store and they have the avocado mashed up in a little cup? So I went to Sam's Club and got those. And I was like, oh, yes, we're going to be making avocado toast and blah, 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 blah. And I really don't like the taste of that because of the lime that they put in there. Sometimes I just want the smoothness of the avocado to like complement what it is that I'm eating. So now I have all these little cups because I only ate 2. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, what am I going to do with it? So I think I'm going to make some guacamole, buy a couple of avocados and tomato and onion and just mash it up with some
Ask Henry to help you with the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right.
They won't be good. Michaela, did you mention kiwi? Did you say anything about kiwi?
I didn't, but that's like one of my favorite fruits.
Well, Kelly and Beth, we were talking about kiwi the other day, remember? And I was for about maybe about a week straight. I was having kiwi with my breakfast, and I think I've had kiwi maybe in the past, but for some reason that week, kiwi just tasted. It was like candy.
It's amazing.
It was just amazing.
Yes.
And Beth, I think you were telling me that like the health benefits of kiwi as it relates to heart health. What was it again, if you remember?
It thins out your blood.
Right.
It thins out your blood.
Yeah.
And it's very cardioprotective. Of course. It lowers blood pressure.
And very high in vitamin C. I think it gives you all the vitamin C.
Like one kiwi. Yeah.
Nice.
Like, this is so amazing. Like, it's amazing how food was designed literally to heal our bodies. And one piece that we didn't really, we did hit on the whole free radicals. Free radicals are compounds that come from foods that are highly processed, from like saturated fat, from eating a diet that's high in refined sugars and things like that. Those are molecules that cause inflammation in the body. And one of the main things, or the basis or the foundation of a lot of chronic disease states in our body, is chronic low-grade inflammation. And so all of these foods that we're talking about will help to reduce that chronic low-grade inflammation in the body. And like Coach B told us earlier, all of these compounds, these carotenoids, flavonoids, polyphenols, the how do I say it? That anthocyanins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I never knew how to say that.
Yeah, anthocyanins. And I'm about to break it down in the blues, so y'all just bear with me.
Okay.
All of these things like have been made by our wonderful creator so that we can live a life where we're free from chronic disease states. Like, it's amazing to me. So here I am talking about the blue. And so when you think about blue foods, you probably think about, okay, what's blue? And like when I was searching for a lot of things, they were like, research was skirting the line about blue and purple. It's like wavering. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about may technically be purple. I only have, I think, four things. Okay, 5. That I'm going to just talk about really, really quick, because a lot of these things have been already mentioned. And the most common thing, y'all, is, what do y'all think? When you think of blue, you think of what? Something that I cannot stand.
Blueberries.
Yes, blueberries.
I was going to say, did we say blueberries already?
What do you mean you can't stand those?
I want to like them. I like them like down in sugar.
Kelly, I want you to like them too.
I want to like them. I actually, the best blueberries I ever had was from a bush from somebody's backyard. So I think I'll be able to eat it from. So I think I'm going to plant some blueberry bushes in my yard, and so I know I need 2 of them, like so they can cross pollinate. So I know I can eat them if I can pick them from the blueberry plant or the blueberry bush. I know that I'll like them then. But blueberries, they're very cardioprotective because, first of all, they're high in fiber. They contain vitamin C and vitamin K, as we already talked about earlier. They have manganese in them, which is a mineral that our body needs as well. We already talked about the fact that they have the anthocyanins and flavonoids. And one of the ways that blueberries work to be cardioprotective is that they decrease, I'm just going to list a bunch of things that they do to protect the cardiac state. So cardiac meaning things that deal with the heart. As you know, we're here for the colors of the heart. Sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to make... I think it's a teacher in me. Like, sorry, y'all. This is, y'all getting, this is how I am. Alrighty, so when you eat blueberries, these compounds that are in them, they decrease the likelihood of you having aortic lesions. And if you have dyslipidemia in your blood work, or if you have elevated blood lipid levels, blueberries can help to decrease your serum lipid levels, specifically your total cholesterol, your LDL, or your low density lipoprotein, which is a type of cholesterol. Additionally, it will reduce your triglyceride levels as well. And so when we talk about these blood lipids, we have to talk about what everybody's mentioned before, which is I'll say just build up plaque buildup in the arteries, okay? And so blueberries have those compounds in them where they help to prevent the plaque buildup in the arteries, and this helps to lower the blood pressure, okay? And so that's blueberries. Number 2 I'm going to be talking about is Concord grapes. I remember when I was younger and I would see the Welch's grape commercial, they used Concord grapes, and I remember thinking, oh, that's exotic. You know, it's exotic. You know, the Concord grapes, and I always wondered, I said, you know, that's a special grape, those Concord grapes. And apparently they are special because they aid in inhibiting platelet aggregation or platelet clotting. And we know that many times stroke is what? The result of a what, y'all? A blood clot, right?
Mhm.
And so
The brain.
Concord grapes, or the compounds that are found in there, which are compounds that we already mentioned, help to decrease clotting of platelets. It decreases LDL oxidation, and it also helps to reduce the oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress, which is caused by an increased level of free radicals in the body. Additionally, this is one of the most fun facts, I think, about Concord grapes, is that when you eat these types of grapes, they actually improve the endothelial function in your body. And you're probably saying, okay, girl, what is endothelial? Endothelial are actually the cells. Endothelial cells are the types of cells that are found inside of the heart. They're found inside of your blood vessels, and they're found inside of the vessels that are within your lymph nodes. So you think about all that has to do with circulation all throughout the body. And so when you have free radicals, or when you have an increased level of inflammation in the body, it actually causes destruction to these cells, and it actually causes your blood pressure to increase. And so the compounds that are found within the Concord grapes, they actually help to repair these blood vessels, okay? They help to repair your heart tissue, and that's because of the antioxidant function going around and gobbling up all of those free radicals that are in your blood when you have chronic low-grade inflammation. Number 3, black currants. Most commonly found in black currant juice, because I don't know, I haven't been to the grocery store and gotten a pint of black currants. I mean, maybe at Whole Foods. They don't have that here, in Salisbury. But black currants, they are high in vitamin C and also high in the anthocyanins. I hope I'm saying that right. Number 4, y'all. This one we always hear when we talk about immune health, but there is something in here that Henry hit on earlier called B6 in elderberries. We're talking elderberries, okay? Elderberries, I know they're not technically blue, they're purple, but
tomatoes.
All right. And so elderberries, they're high in vitamin C and high in vitamin B6. Now, vitamin B6 is one of the most powerful antioxidants that you can actually find. And vitamin B6, or low levels, because we're talking about protecting the heart. So, of course, we're going to talk about what low levels of vitamin B6 will actually do to your body. So if you have low levels of vitamin B6 in your body, you're going to have an increased risk of developing atherosclerosis, or the hardening of your blood arteries. You're going to have increased development of stroke, and you can have increased development of blood clots, okay? When you actually add this vitamin B6 into your diet through elderberries or other foods that are rich in this, or even through supplementation, okay? Because sometimes you can't get all your food first. Sometimes you do have to support your body with supplements. So when you do add that, it actually helps to decrease some inflammatory factors, specifically IL-6. I'm not going to get all sciencey. Whoa. And I'll get just half it sciencey right here. But levels of vitamin B6, or vitamin B6 as its own entity, helps to regulate the calcium as it flows in and out of the cells, okay? And so calcium plays a role in the regulation of your blood pressure and your cardiac function. So when you have increased levels, when it's all awry, when the osmosis and the molecular function is all going crazy, you can have high levels of blood pressure, you can have increased or hypertension, that's what we call it, technically speaking, hypertension, and you can have some other types of cardiac dysfunction going on as well. The last one, but not least, is blackberries, which actually, if you live in Salisbury, they're $3-5 at Food Lion right now. So you get, so you can make some, well, you could just eat them. So
you could just eat them.
Yeah. I will say this, and this is not, I do believe in things in moderation, but one of my church members, who passed away recently, she made something called blackberry dumplings, and I probably shouldn't be talking about. I'm just gonna say this real quick. It was almost like a blackberry cobbler, but made on top of the stove. Y'all, banging. That's all I say about that. Yeah, we're not talking about every day. We're not having blackberry dumplings every day. What we want to do is eat these blackberries raw, okay? Because we don't want to kill these compounds that are in here. So blackberries are very high in vitamin K. As mentioned before by our other panelists, vitamin K helps to aid the body in clotting the blood, okay? Fun fact, when a baby is born, somebody tell me, do they have like vitamin K in their body already? What do they have to get? And where is vitamin K? Oh, another fun. Somebody tell me, where's vitamin K formed? And why do babies not have it? I'll say when they're born, newborn. Who remembers?
I know.
Was it their microbiome not like creating it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good, because they're sterile. Babies are born all clean on the inside, and so if this is why we say breastfeeding is best. We know that we're not talking about breastfeeding, but because breastfeeding is encouraged, because on the mommy, on her nipple, there is their own microbiome. There's bacteria right there on the mommy's nipple that goes as the baby suckles the mommy, like that goes into their GI tract and helps to develop their microbiome. So a lot of times babies who do get breastfed like have a really nicely balanced gut microbiome. And so they can start to form their own vitamin K. But if the mommy doesn't breastfeed the baby, then the baby has to get a shot of vitamin K as soon as they're born.
Right.
And so vitamin K, another thing that I found that was interesting is that vitamin K is very necessary for the regulation of calcium or calcium homeostasis within the body. And vitamin K also helps to prevent calcification of the arteries or arteriosclerosis, stiffening of the arteries, insulin resistance. It helps to prevent insulin resistance, and it helps to prevent heart failure. So there we have it, the blues and the purple.
This is amazing. Just, oh my goodness. Wow.
So for, correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly, but blueberries, don't they contain probably the most fiber per ounce or per, for its size, right? It has like some of the highest fiber content for its size. Yeah, so we just want to put that out there for people. If you want that fiber and you like blueberries, Kelly, hey, blueberries are the way to go.
I'll sprinkle a couple on like a yogurt parfait.
Yeah, you can put them in your oatmeal. You can put them in a smoothies. Or, the possibilities are endless, man.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it's just like, sometimes when you get them from the store, even if they are organic, sometimes it's a little bit on the tart side.
Yeah.
But and then sometimes I feel some kind of way, like, why are they so big? And like, it's just.
I've been seeing some blueberries about that lately. I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute.
Yeah, I stay away from
that. Wait a minute.
Right.
Looking like bananas. Like this big.
Did you see my post the other day?
Yeah. You're right. That's where I get it from. Those bananas.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, man. This is too big.
Right.
And then they say organic on them, and I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Is it? Am I up to bat?
Yes, Phil, break this down. Like we talked about all of the different foods and the colors of the rainbow. We didn't talk about everything because we didn't hit on yellow or but Phil is going to talk about some other things that we can add to our dietary pattern that will help us to protect our heart as well. So Phil, take it away.
All right. Thank you. So omega-3s, 6s, 9s. There might be another one out there. We'll see. So a brief explanation on omegas, right? So poly and monounsaturated fats. So I'll touch on each of them. So omega-3s, polyunsaturated fats, they're a type of fat that the body can't make, right? So it's the term itself, poly, unsaturated is broken down in two parts. So poly meaning many, unsaturated meaning double bonds, right? So when we put them together, that means omegas have, or omega-3s have many double bonds, right? So we put that term together, many double bonds. So just so people know like what the term actually means, right? Omega-3 itself refers to the position of the final double bond in the chemical structure, right? So we're going to talk about omega-3 right now, and so there's 3 carbons at the end of that omega end of that molecular chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So readdressing the fact that the human can't produce the omegas, these, the fats are known as essential fats, right? So there's non-essential and essentials. So that means they must be obtained through diet, right? So there's the 3 most common type, you got EPA, you got DHA, and you got ALA, right? So, hey, I'm still not comfortable with some of those acronyms, man, but I'll throw them out there. People can look it up, how to pronounce them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not just saying it's not just me, is it?
That's okay. DHA, EPA, that's fine.
Yeah.
I say I don't even try to.
The alphabets are.
Yeah. Like I don't need all 26 letters. So the one I'll concentrate on for omega-3s is the ALA, since we're talking about heart health. So it's an 18 carbon fatty acid that can be converted into EPA and DHA, although the process is not very efficient, right? So and like I said, ALA, it can affect the heart, immune system, and nervous system. So recommended and I'm going to go into the intake side a little bit. I'm going to stay with our 14 and up, since I doubt that babies are watching this right now, or toddlers or things like that. If you are, welcome. Thank you for watching. So ages 14 and up, right? So you got about a gram or 1.5 grams for males, about 1.6 grams, something like that, and 1.1 grams for females. So if you're pregnant, that lowers a little bit, or it increases a little bit. So 1.4 grams during pregnancy and 1.3 during lactation, right? So with the focus being on heart health, let's talk about foods that you can find omega-3s in. All right, that contain ALA more so. Flaxseed, right? Flaxseed, you can find that in most stores. All right, you can get them whole or ground. And if you get them whole, you can always ground them yourself, right? They could be added to cereals. They could be added to oatmeal, yogurt, smoothies. I wouldn't recommend eating a tablespoon of flax seeds, but if you want to do that, eat your heart out, literally. So soybeans, canola oil, chia seeds. I love chia seeds because they're so potent. I mean, a couple of teaspoons of chia seeds in your yogurt or anything, like it provides so much for us. And we're talking about like walnuts too. Walnuts. I don't want to forget walnuts. Walnuts are
Absolutely
probably one of my favorite, so we're talking about 1 tablespoon or 1 ounce of these foods per day that will give the recommended amount of those essential fatty acids. And just to touch on the DHA and EPA side, we're talking about fatty fish, salmon, herring, sardines, mackerel, and trout. So your fatty fish, right? So a little research. Omega-3s, they have the ability to manage cholesterol, triglycerides, right? And blood pressure levels. Why is that important? For heart health, right? So just want our audience to know omega-3s are very important, right? And incorporating those foods will help you. We'll help keep that heart healthy. So a question for you all. How many case studies did we have that probably all our clients were deficient in essential fatty acids? Like almost every one of them, right?
Almost every one.
Yeah, that was like the go-to. We had our little study sheets and all, and essential fatty acids. There you go. So, yeah. And how about omega-6s? So they are also polyunsaturated. They are essential, and they must be consumed through the diet. So the molecular structure is different, right? So there's, instead of 3 carbons, there's 6 carbons at the end of that fatty acid molecule. So the uses of omega-6, they vary from heart disease, child development, high cholesterol, cancer, diabetes, and many others. So we got to be careful with omega-6s because we don't want to consume too much, right? There's a ratio that I'm going to talk about. So consuming too much omega-6s can increase inflammation and inflammatory diseases. And in order to mitigate these factors, our bodies need other nutrients, as discussed earlier: magnesium, zinc, right? Vitamin C, B3, and B6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So getting those nutrients will mitigate those inflammation factors, right? Because they're antioxidants. So, all right. And let's see. Also, omega-6 can, if you take the supplement form, it's important to remember that can increase your triglycerides, right? So that's why when you have when you get a supplement, let's say you get triple omega or whatever, they have all 3. Usually they have a pretty good balance in them already. I mean, you always want to double check, right? And that balance from 6 to 3, or I'm sorry, 3 to 6 is 4 to 1, right? Right. So yeah, that's pretty much what you want to shoot for. So omega-6s, so some foods you can get omega-6s: eggs, tofu, mayonnaise, sunflower seeds, canola oil, walnuts again. Now, omega-6s, they say that you really don't have to supplement omega-6 too much because we get it pretty much in our average everyday diet, right? So that's why, omega-3 is like the big one to focus on, because, not a lot of people like omega-3s, not a lot of people like fish, so, they might be deficient. Not a lot of people like seeds or nuts or things like that. They may not know. So, have you all ever used Smart Balance oil before? You ever heard of Smart Balance?
Margarine.
Yeah. So if I'm not using olive oil, like I don't want to use my olive oil with everything. Sometimes I throw some Smart Balance in there, but I think it has. I want to say it has omega-3s and 6s in it because it has safflower oil in it. So, and that's another source of omega-6, safflower oil. I'm not sure, but I believe it is safflower oil with other oils that they use, like canola, and I think they blend it with olive as well. So, it's pretty decent oil to cook with. It doesn't cost as much as olive oil. So, eating walnuts. Let's get back to the walnuts, right? Any Dr. Sebi fans out there? Dr. Sebi, the herbalist. Yeah, so walnuts are on the list of his approved foods, right? Because they offer that rich content of omega-3 and 6. So just something to put out there if any Dr. Sebi fans are out there. Now, also with omega-6s, and these foods are not endorsed by me. I may or may not have had these in my lifetime. Processed foods, packaged snacks, pizza, fast food have an abundance of omega-6 in them, believe it or not. That's one of the reasons why I believe that America is one of the world leaders in chronic inflammatory conditions, because we consume so much of that. You know what I'm saying? We're overloading on the omega-6, I believe, right? So yeah, omega-9s is a mono, right? Mono, so which means it only has one double bond, right? And it has 9 carbons at the end of the tail of the molecule. So the body can produce them, right? And you can find them in some foods: olive oil, cashew oil, almond oil, avocado, peanut oil, and walnuts again. There's walnuts again. So I think we're seeing a pattern with walnuts. I'm putting the plug in for walnuts tonight, people. So
Go with it.
lastly, I want to talk about, not lastly, when choosing a triple omega supplement, make sure that it's cold pressed.
Mm.
All right.
Mhm.
Make sure it's cold pressed and it contains the antioxidants, and more importantly, vitamin E.
Mhm.
Right. Also choose the one with the highest available omega-3 content in it. Right. Now, lastly, bonus content for our viewers. How many of you all have heard of omega-7s? So consider it, not much out there about them, but I just want to put it in there because there's more research and more findings to be had. So consider it to be non-essential, like the omega-9s, and the body can make them. And there's really no need to search for them in foods or supplements. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the research that they're coming out with that. I mean, omega-7, I don't know if I've heard of that until probably in the last several months, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
That.
Mhm. But fun
Yeah, that was just
sorry.
yeah, that was just a little bonus content.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad you mentioned that, Phil, because I actually was in a clinical trial. And here where I live, we have a North Carolina research campus, which is a research campus that's strictly dedicated to bio-individuality and nutrition, and hopefully moving forward to doing food prescriptions. So the whole campus, it's like all UNC schools, like all state schools have a laboratory there, and then they have like doctors that are just doing all different types of research. And I was actually in the fish oil study, but the study was actually seeing if omega-7s could reduce chronic inflammation or inflammation in the body. And I actually think I was in a placebo group because they were doing it with sea buckthorn oil, and I know sea buckthorn has a distinct color, and my the supplements that I got were just like looking like clear canola oil. So I was just a little bit upset about that. So I think I was a placebo group, but I know that that's important as well. But yeah, so there should be, the study actually ended as far as taking participants like in the summer. So hopefully we'll see the results maybe in the next coming year of what they saw. But it was a 12-week study. So yeah, just FYI. So there is research being done.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, just piggybacking on that, I did read also that it does help with fat metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and cholesterol metabolism. So, and also it can be found in some foods. I don't know really how much, but I think they said mac nuts or macadamia nuts for people who want the full term. Spend some time in Hawaii, we call them mac nuts.
Yeah.
Salmon and cod are some foods that you can find omega-7s in. So good talk. I like it.
And that's so cool. Like, and I know even with African Americans, I know we shy away from participating in research due to the historical things that have happened and our distrust and mistrust with the healthcare system. But I really want to make a plug. If you do have a research campus near you or a university that is participating in research, especially when it comes to nutrition, using foods to heal the body or supplements to heal the body, I really want to emphasize the fact for us African Americans, because there's so limited research, because we do have that mistrust because of the Tuskegee experiment and because of all of the other things that have happened in the past. But one thing I do want to say is that I was very impressed with the fact that they said, like, you get a thorough, blood work and everything, blood pressure, everything. They know that you're healthy when you go in. If you do get injured, God forbid, when you are in these research studies, they have compensation for you. They pay for all of your health care and you can get compensated. God forbid something goes awry. So they do have protective measures written within the research agreement. And y'all, you get paid. I got paid like $475 just from doing for 12 weeks. So like, I mean, that's like, people always talking about side hustles or whatever. Not saying that, do it just for that, but I just love the fact that I like have actually participated. I mean, it might sound nerdy. I know that I like doing stuff, you know.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with nerdy. Nothing wrong with nerdy.
But like, I really encourage, because we really do need research for us. Like, it's so important. It's so super duper important for us.
So working at the senior center down in San Antonio, the University of Texas San Antonio, they're conducting a study group with a lot of the seniors. So I work in a predominantly Black and Hispanic community, and they have a research group going with them. Now, I won't disclose what they're researching, but it's an ongoing thing. They just started it, I think, last month or something like that, and the seniors, they get a free iPad out of it. So, why not, right?
Right.
But I want to touch on that, Kelly. Thanks for bringing that up, because yes, we are hesitant to go to the doctor. We are hesitant to, have this research done. And if we don't, sometimes we got to take that leap, that leap of faith sometimes to, and it's by doing so, it's only going to better us down the road, and, we're in 2023, a lot of things have changed. There's a lot of procedures, laws, rules in place. So I encourage people to do that. I encourage people to get out and be a part of some studies, go to the doctor, get things going, because we got to leave something behind for our children and our grandchildren and things like that. So that's my plug.
Yeah, for sure. Because some of the reasons, especially with heart disease and African Americans, like, the thing is that we find out, like, oh, so-and-so had a heart attack. Uncle Rufus done, had a stroke.
Yeah.
This and the other. Aunt Sadie done, collapsed at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you find out all this stuff at the last minute because of our mistrust, because of the fact that we, like, it's a whole thing. I could get into, us being essential workers, us being on the front line, us having, blue collar jobs, us, even African American men, typically, like, when you guys reach a higher income status, or typically when men go to a higher income status, they become more lean in other races. But for African American men, for some reason, the higher the income goes, the more their waist circumference increases. As they become. And so the thing is that many times we associate, just as a culture, not to get too far into this, but we don't associate health as wealth. We typically associate material things as wealth, or having a purse or a bag, or my hair's done, my track's late, you can't see my legs front. You know what I'm saying? So we associate all of that with wealth, instead of associating the fact that you go jet skiing, that you're hiking up Pilot Mountain, that you're going hiking, that you're hanging out with your friends in, like, the Mauritius. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't associate that with wealth, or the fact that we are eating a Mediterranean dietary pattern most of the time. We don't associate that with wealth. It's like, we need to. Like, it needs to be a whole culture shift. And I know that is a decades-long process. But one of the things, and it's not a thing of eating white or acting white, or the food doesn't have flavor.
I've seen a lot of press on that lately. Yeah. We're telling people to eat white. We're telling people to eat to live.
Right.
Exactly.
And right. And sometimes I feel like, and I know, and, I'll just say it, like, I know that if I opened up a soul food restaurant, I already know. I know, what I'm saying? I already know that, especially being in the South, like, if I say, okay, I'm doing soul food, I'm throwing down mac and cheese, yams, green beans, cornbread. If I start doing that, frying the chicken, that, oh, there's going to be a door, a line out the door. But I'm just encouraged. I really do believe that, like, I'm a pioneer, or we're forerunners for our race, to where we are showing people how to use food to live, how to live and live well, how to use these interventions. No, it's not right to go for a jog. It's not right to go take a walk after dinner. It's fine if we decide to do something in celebration, aside from going to dang brunch and eating shrimp and grits. Like,
Right.
I mean, there's a time and a place for that, but we
Right.
don't have to do it every single time. Like, we
Yeah.
need to have a mindset shift as
Mhm.
people. Like, it's so every single research article, and I know that you guys can attest to this. If you type in type 2 diabetes mellitus, what does it always say? It's saying African Americans are
Yeah.
always,
Right, right.
the number
The
one,
leader. Yeah. Mhm.
right, or Latinos. Now it's so shifting toward the Latino community, the
Mhm.
Hispanic community is saying like we're running neck and neck as far as the prevalence of type 2 diabetes. And they always say
Yeah.
it's because our socioeconomic background, it's
Mhm.
because of our what do you call it? Disposition, I guess our natural disposition allegedly to being insulin resistant, to being obese, not even taking obese, I guess, according to BMI, but not considering that we as Black women have an increased level of body
Yeah. Mass.
muscle mass
Mhm.
compared to other races. We're
Right.
shapely, you know what I'm saying? And so like that's a whole different thing, but it's tiring. It's fatiguing for us to like we want to see the research change, y'all. And when
Yeah.
I hear the lecture, and I know I kind of went off on the tangent, but I'm so passionate about this. Like I
Mhm.
know for a fact I have seen what eating well and changing your lifestyle can do. Like I was on the road because of like my dang bacon addiction in the dang pandemic. Like I was eating bacon every day, 4 long slices of bacon. I'll tell y'all, I'm out of myself. 4 slices of bacon, long slices. Y'all know that that's like a
Mm.
quarter of the pack.
Yeah.
I was eating that every single day. They're cooking my eggs in the bacon, thinking that because I'm putting spinach in it. Yeah, it was off the chain. And like my blood work started to change. You know, my body was saying my belly was bloated, and like my body was saying, you got inflammation, girl, change it. And I saw how me changing the way that I ate within a year's time, or less than a year's time, really, from blood work to blood work, totally gone,
Mhm.
as if it has never happened because of the
Mhm.
way I changed my eating pattern. So
Mhm.
I think a lot of our disproportionate chronic illnesses come from mental health or the lack thereof. I really do.
Mhm.
And I think that a level of dysfunctional mental health can be in all caps, can be passed down. When you think of level of dysfunction of mental health, you think of poverty. Poverty is a level of dysfunction that correlates with mental health. You think of lack of education. You think of stress. Actually, there's a study they did with monkeys. No, we're not monkeys. There's a study that happened. I think it's the Howler study. Howler study. Okay, so they removed some monkeys from their habitat, and there is a snake. There's a snake that, and if anybody knows of this study, I'm just paraphrasing the outcome. There's a snake that can instantly kill that howler monkey. The monkey has been moved from its habitat, unlearned that the snake can kill them. What happens? These 3 monkeys were afraid in a different habitat of this snake. They were 2 or 3 generations removed and caged in somewhere different. But the scientists brought this snake in the room and they went ape, pun intended, right? So there's a lot of gene expression, mental dysfunction gene expression in our DNA that causes our cortisol to be high, that causes our anxiety to be high, that causes our mental level of dysfunction to not coincide with our everyday life. So we're always on ready, fight or flight. And you know what cortisol does. Kelly and I did a masterclass on hormones and stress. You know what cortisol does. Insulin dysregulation, increases aldosterone, heart disease,
Mhm.
you know, gonadotropin, sex hormones. So our level of stress, and I don't want to say we come here with a level of stress, but I'm telling you, we come here with a level of stress.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, health and wellness for me is to be your healthy self. You must heal thyself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And get a better understanding of where you are. I know it may be tedious. We got to get a better understanding of where you are each day, each week. There are 365 days. There are 168 hours in a week. Know where you are mentally, because that's going to dictate how you take care of your body, how you take care of your health. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. We need that.
Yeah.
We need that. Thank you, Coach. We need that. That's why you the coach.
And my thing is, where's our community getting this information from? I did a talk last week, and one of the audience members said, what is the state of the Black community, receiving the information that we're giving in this talk? What is the state of the Black community getting to receive that information on a regular basis? And I said, it's terrible. I mean, I don't know if I don't know very many of my people who are, going to talks like this or looking up information online from Dr. Hyman or, someone else in functional medicine or nutrition. And then when you go to the doctor, you spend, 2-3 minutes with them, and they're never asking you about diet and lifestyle. So,
no,
I mean, Beth, everything you said is important. It's like, how do we continue to get this information to our people?
That's why
I think it starts with us, though. I think it starts with what we're doing now.
Yeah, that's why I like what I do. I get a chance to give presentations to the seniors, and the information that I give them is very valuable. It's so valuable that they're taking notes. These are 60-year and older people taking notes.
Yeah.
I do quiz them afterwards. They win a little prize or whatever, but the fact is they're paying attention. They're taking notes and they're listening. And that's gratifying to me that they got something out of what I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's stuff like, it's things like that. Being online, getting in front of people and just sharing the knowledge. It's invaluable. You can't put a price on it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to do this once a quarter. We just have to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down, Coach.
We just have to.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to do it
I'm
once.
down, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because the information is there, and
Yes.
the edutainment is there, right?
Yes.
We can drop up in some pop culture as well, for the peoples. But we have to do it, because if not, who?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a
There
lot.
are myriad of ages represented here. They're in different cities. We do different things in our respective careers. But when we come together, it's about health and wellness. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's about health and wellness. It's about chronic illnesses. It's about things that we are really succumbing to in our community, and people need to know. People need to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a guest speaker or two, create more sensation. I don't know, but we need to get the message out there, because this is very, very important. It's vital to life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is, and I think emphasizing the fact that I think wellness is fun, but I don't know if that's because I have a passion for it. But I think sometimes people may think that it's all or nothing, that it's not, things can't be done in moderation. I can tell you for a fact that even though like my lifestyle changed as far as my eating pattern on a daily basis, I still had once a month or twice a month a milkshake from Cookout, because that's what I wanted to do, because I like it. If I had a craving for it, then I would eat it. If I wanted a sweet, then I would do that. If I wanted to go get some French fries, if I like seasoned fries from this one particular place, I would go there and do it. I just didn't do it every day, nor did I do it once a week. And so it's okay. You can still indulge. We're not saying, we're not anti-indulgence. We're not drill sergeants saying, you just need to eat this lettuce. That's
it. Nothing else.
Kelly, I indulged a lot last week. I was bad. I had about 3 nice sized cookies, chocolate, but you know what? I didn't have any this weekend.
Absolutely.
Actually, I dialed it back, and that's the thing. It's the discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
chocolate is good for you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, bro.
And yes, chocolate is good for you, because I'm gonna get me a couple of Thin Mints.
Mm-hmm. Right. The Girl Scout cookie season, for real.
High in
And
magnesium.
right. And so I think that that's when we emphasize to our clients the fact that yes, you could still have the foods that you love, just not every time. If you eat
Right.
out 5 days a week, or let's say you eat out 7 days a week because that's just the life you live. Let's
Yeah.
try to see if you can eat out just 4 days a week this week.
Yeah.
And then cook one meal at home, divide it into 3 portions, and that's a start. Then you just say, okay, I made it the 3 meal, the 3 times. I'm going to try to do 3 again next week. And then I'm going to try to do 4 in the week after. It's a process. It's not anything that happens overnight. It is a process. And
Yeah, no overnight success, man.
Absolutely,
It's
because
not.
you didn't get that way overnight.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
didn't develop high blood pressure overnight. You didn't develop diabetes overnight. So it's going to be a journey to to get your way out of the chronic disease state. And so there's hope. There's hope.
Kelly, no, I was just going to say, I love that you mentioned that you don't develop these conditions overnight. I was telling some people last week that, you don't just wake up one day and have diabetes or have certain conditions. And, we were talking specifically about getting labs done and how okay, my labs are normal. And I'm like, your labs can be normal for a very long time. That doesn't mean that something's not brewing in there to become abnormal. So just because you get normal labs, that doesn't mean that I'm good to go. I need to, I can just
do what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You still need to be focusing on your diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. And then with those labs, they put standards on that. That doesn't mean that just because your A1C is here and you're considered pre-diabetic, you're not diabetic. There's still dysregulation going on there, and you need to look at it
and those labs have dates on them. So what's today may not be next week.
Exactly.
It's a moment in time.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's good.
That was one thing we learned in the program that was just so eye-opening for me, because I think beforehand I thought labs were just okay, if it says normal, you're good to go. And
you're good to go.
Yeah. Today I look at it okay, my mom had something where she got a specific lab done, but and it was normal, but she had a symptom, and her doctor said, "Oh, we'll just watch it." And I'm just like, what are we watching? What
right, that part.
What are you gonna watch? You're gonna watch it go up and down, and then what are you gonna do? What are we watching? If you have a symptom and it says normal, something's going on in there. So we need to address it. It's probably inflammation, like everything else, but we need to address it. So,
and again, Henry, what's normal for someone, they may feel abnormal in their body. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a telltale sign. What's normal, that we have these relative numbers, but they're not necessarily my numbers, because I feel off, even though a number is showing normal. What's my number?
Absolutely. Right? And that's where the bio individuality comes. Everybody is different. The research is the research, of course, but just because research shows that omega-3 fatty acids are the golden standard for getting, what I'm saying, or fish oil supplements are the golden standard for getting or doing, reducing inflammation. Let's just say arthritis. It helps, 2 to 4 grams every day will help to reduce arthritis pain. But while it may work for Phil, it may not work for Michaela. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody is different. And so it's so important to realize that even as we tell you this information and share it with you, it's just, we have to see what works with you. That's why I would say get a nutritionist in your life, because we are here to help you as you go on your journey. We're here to try different things with you. We're not here to just give you a plan and say, hey, do this for the next 2 weeks, deuces. No, we're here to support you. We're here to go along with you. I'm sure all of us allow our clients to have access to us via text message or email. They have questions about, they may be in the grocery store. Hey, Kels, do I need to get this? What do you think about that? Hey, Phil, what do I need to do this? I'm sure Phil doesn't close his door when an elder comes and asks.
Nope, my door is always open. Absolutely. It's closed right now because I'm in this live. So.
Right. But I'm sure he's not shunning them if they're in the if they have snacks in the center and they're asking him about if that's a good thing that they should eat if they're diabetic.
I tell you what, man, I tell you what, they are some naughty people. They Every day it's something. And I'm like, hey, Mr. Banks, you want something? You want something? I'm like, just no, just stop. Can I just walk past?
Yeah. The elders,
Yeah, they're bad,
living
man.
life. They're living there.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's kind of like trying to what do you call it? Herd cats sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But they're so
Yeah.
sweet. Like I just
No, they
love
are.
that
They
you're
are.
pouring into them. That's like
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And so all of us here are called to different populations. Of course, we all help everybody. But this information that we gave y'all tonight, it was rich. I thought that it was rich. I thought this discussion was rich. And I hope that you all have gotten some value from it, whether you are watching live or whether you're on the replay. We did introduce ourselves in the beginning, but I just would love for everyone to just give them, just reintroduce yourself. Tell us where you can find us off of this Facebook Live here. So just share with us what you're doing, what you have coming up, where we can find you, and even your contact information. Start with Henry, and I guess go around that way.
Sure. So again, Henry Lewis III, founder and owner of Lewis Wellness Solutions. I help people get to the root of their chronic conditions using diet and lifestyle interventions. I meet with clients one-on-one and in group settings. You can find me on Instagram at _LewisWellSol, SOL, as well as Lewis Wellness Solutions on Facebook. So looking forward to speaking with you all.
Once again, I am Beth, Coach B. Fagans, the owner of My Fit 365, a health and wellness company, specializing in like one-on-one coaching and training, studio in Decatur, Georgia. And then I have Six Figure Health Coaching, one-on-one coaching and group coaching. You can find me at Coach B Said It on Instagram.
All right. Once again, everyone, I'm Philip Banks. I am a nutrition specialist for the city of San Antonio. I do have some things coming up. Just a matter of me getting some details ironed out. I didn't mention that in the beginning, but look out for Hive Health and Wellness coming soon. It's similar to Henry, but as for now, I do nutrition education and for seniors 60 and older. I'm responsible for their meal programs and things like that. So for right now, there's no official IG tag or anything like that. But just remember Hive Health and Wellness. Remember that, and then it'll come up for you when it's ready. So thanks.
Okay, and my name is Michaela Davis. I own a company called Soul of Nutrition and Fitness, where I teach healthy eating habits. I really focus in on healthy weight loss and normal eating patterns and behavioral eating. I also am a fitness coach, so I do personal training via virtual or in person if you happen to be in the San Francisco Bay Area. You can find me at soulinf.com. That's soul, N as in Nancy, F as in Frank.com.
Awesome. And I am Kelly Renee Banneker, and I am the Chief Culinary Wellness Educator for my wellness brand, Prep by Kelly Renee's, where I prepare you for wellness using the avenues of meal preparation services if you are in the Charlotte metro area, group coaching through my Patreon group, Health Over BMI, online classes, online master classes, workshops, and whatever else you need me for. My passion is educating the community, especially the faith-based community and the African-American community, about how you can use food to heal your body. And so together, we are the illustrious alumni of Cenarian University of Health Sciences. And so we are, like I like to say, the minority delegation. I need to stop saying that before somebody, clips this and say, they said the thing. But I don't want anybody. But I'm super, it's a blessing to see all of these people of color, these nutritional professionals. As we know, about 2% of all health and of all nutrition and dietetics professionals are people of color in the United States of America. So it's just 2% of us. So
Yep.
that means we have a high concentration right here on this live tonight. And so I would love for you all to follow everybody. You have their contact information. Rewatch this live, share it out to your social media networks. Please share. This information was so rich tonight. Also, in the comment as you rewatch the replay, we would love for you all to just drop some questions, and we'll just go in and answer the questions. And also, let us know what type of topics you would love for us to talk about. We're here for you. And so we are always going to have topics, as we said, that we are really going to try this year. I think because even though a couple of us are doctoral students, we were really going to really try. I know we're building our businesses and everything. We have life going on, but we are going to really push to do these quarterly this year. So here's to the first quarter, y'all. So
That's right.
so that's progress. We have one down, 3 more to go, right? So we are
and also I just want to say real quick, your questions may prompt our next.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And because we're here for you. Our passion is education, y'all. We are not here to withhold information
No.
from you. As you can see, we have been on here over an hour and a half, just giving you the information that you need because we want you to live well. And so we're not selfish with our, of course, if you want one-on-ones, like, there is a price to pay because, we are nutrition professionals, but like, this is your time. When you watch us live here, this is your time to ask all the questions that you want, and we will do our best to answer them. And so we're so excited to meet with y'all in a couple of more months. The topic will be released, and we just thank you all for watching, and we just say have a blessed evening, y'all.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.